Welcome to Madame Raven's. This way to the library. She's been expecting you.
Young girls shouldn't wander the woods alone at night. By the marvelous, dangerous Aunt 8377. It gets dark fairly early this time of year this far north. By 4 p.m., the sun is already set and dusk is upon us. Definitely not the ideal conditions for a girl who looks as young as I do to be walking home alone. The route that I'd chosen from the junior high school to the house was particularly off the beaten track and took me through several tranquil and deserted areas of town. No parent with even a shred of love in their heart for their child would allow them to make this walk at any time of the year, let alone in the depths of winter. It was just after I'd passed the cemetery and was about to turn onto the path through the woods that I became aware of his presence. At this point, he was what you would consider a safe distance behind me. I didn't want to turn around and look directly at him. Still, you could tell from the heavy footfalls of his steps and the excited nature of his breathing he was about 30 or 40 feet away. There was no other people around, and this road was a dead end with no houses on it, meaning that the chances of someone driving by were minimal. I was acutely aware that it was just him and me. Despite many thoughts running through my mind at that moment, one above all was controlling me. If this situation is going to go down the way I think it will, I need to make a move right now. I started to increase my pace, not so much that it would be immediately apparent, but enough that I would significantly increase the distance between him and me, unless, that is, he really was following me and altered his speed to keep up. Sure enough, within a couple seconds, I sensed him breaking into a slow jog in order to catch up and close the distance between us. Okay, Carmela, time to make a choice. Do I run or do I turn and confront this man? I was right at the head of the woodland park at this point, so I decided to turn around. Hello, mister. Can I help you with something? Are you lost? I detected the slightest hint of surprise that I'd acted in this way. Still, he quickly regained his composure and continued his slow approach.
Hey there, little girl. I was just out here looking for my dog. I think he went into these woods. Do you want to help me find him?
He was smiling at me now. What's your dog's name? I asked.
What?
Your dog's name. What is it? If I'm going to help you find him, I need to shout his name.
Oh, yeah. His name's Fred.
He was surprised by my question, or had he hesitated because he needed to make up a name? Well, I'm kind of scared of dogs. I think I'm just going to go home. Sorry I can't help you.
Can I at least walk you home? Which way are you headed? It's dark out here and not safe for little girls like you.
He was edging ever closer to me now and had a big, creepy smile plastered across his face. I just live on the other side of these woods. Trust me, I can make it just fine.
Well, I'd still like to walk with you if that's okay. I mean, I'm sure my dog is in there somewhere.
His icy blue eyes were laser-focused on mine now. It almost felt like he was trying to hypnotically control me with his gaze. If you really think Fido is in there, I guess you should look for him.
Fido is a crazy old mutt,
he said.
I'm sure we'll find him in there.
There is no dog. This man definitely means trouble. Time to take action. I turned and started running into the woods. While I had a couple of seconds head start on him, the fact is that the body of a 13-year-old can't run as fast as a full-grown man. He caught up with me ridiculously fast, so quickly, in fact, that we were still in view of the road. The street lamp gave off enough light for us to be seen by a passer-by if one were to approach.
What did you run off for?
He asked.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Sorry, mister. I just got scared at the thought of your dog running around in here. I got bitten by something pretty nasty when I was younger, and the thought of it happening again freaks me out.
Okay, I understand. Let's keep walking. I'll keep you safe from any stray dogs. Hey, you hungry? I have some food I could share with you. Let's find a nice place to sit down and eat.
What do you have? I was kind of hungry, as it happens.
Oh, delicious homemade spaghetti and bolognese sauce. Let's go a bit further into the woods, and then I'll share it with you.
He didn't have a bag with him, and there was no way he was hiding some container full of food in his pockets. This was bullshit. No thanks, mister. My elders say I'm allergic to garlic, so I shouldn't eat Italian food.
Okay then, let's just keep walking.
His heart rate was increasing, and the adrenaline was kicking in. I could smell the excitement oozing from his pores.
Here, let me hold your hand. You'll be safer that way.
He didn't wait for me to respond, grabbing my hand in his clammy grip. He was a strong one, it was apparent. There was no way a regular girl of my height and frame would be able to escape this bastard. We were walking on and soon far away from any streetlight and any semblance of safety. Soon things were going to take a turn very much for the worse. He clearly sensed this too, letting go of my hand and standing in front of me to block the path. The disingenuous smile had gone now.
Okay, little lady. Fun time is over. Well, for you anyway. My fun is just about to begin.
He withdrew a set of handcuffs from his pocket and dangled them in front of my face. I seriously fucking doubt that, Johnny. This was the part that I always loved the most. The look of utter shock on these assholes' faces when I first called them by their name. I'd seen it a dozen times before, and it never grew old. Now, for the next part, he'll be rocked back for a few seconds before trying to reassert his authority.
Wait, what? How did you know
I didn't let him finish his question. Johnny Mutton, pedophile, rapist, child killer. We've been tracking you for a while. Damn, he looks stupid, still dangling those cuffs in front of him. Guess what? We found you. Just watching the cogs of a regular human's brain slowly turn was not my favorite part of this whole game, though. Come on, work it out already. Then you can pretend it doesn't matter, and you're the boss here, and we can get down to business.
Well, I don't give a fuck what you think you know.
Oh, good. The bravado had returned. It was always more fun when they still thought they had the upper hand.
I'm still gonna torture you, rape you, and then leave little pieces of you scattered all over this forest.
Again with the dangling handcuffs. What was wrong with the shithead? Which hand should we start with? You want my left? The frickin' schmuck had a look on his face like it was Christmas and his birthday all rolled into one. He advanced and roughly placed the cuff around my left wrist.
Oh, things are gonna get real ugly now, little lady.
He was smirking. He genuinely believed he was still in control. At least we can agree on something. Okay, jackass, let's get this over with. I was going to make this quick. This piece of shit wasn't even worth toying with. I grabbed the other end of the cuffs and clasped it around his wrist. There was no way he was going to escape me now.
What are you doing, kid? You think that's...
I jumped up and sank my fangs deep into his neck. I would feast on him later, but for now, ripping out half of his jugular would lead to a suitably painful death. I climbed off of him and spat out the chunk of flesh onto the ground in front of him. In his shocked state, he actually bent down and tried to pick it up, as though this would fix the lethal wound. I wasn't going to allow this sick bastard even that tiny crumb of false hope, though, and dragged him away into the middle of the clearing. Any last words, Johnny? This was a bit cruel of me, what with the fact that this asshole was choking to death on his own blood. I didn't have much sympathy, though. He let out a pathetic gurgling sound. Looking up at me pleadingly. Sorry, I didn't catch that. He was as white as a sheet now, and not long for this world. Time to monologue. You guys just don't put in the effort anymore. I mean, for freak's sake, I only got into town last night. I was obviously indisposed during the daylight hours, meaning I know you had 0 time to prep this. Damn, I remember the old days when sick fucks like you would at least put in the effort. You know, a couple of weeks of following your victim, regular drive-bys, watching the home through binoculars, learning the names of friends. But you just spotted me and decided then and there to act on your impulses. Fucking pathetic. It didn't even occur to you how dumb it would be for a girl to be walking through the woods on her own. It took me less than 2 minutes to lure you here. His breathing was extremely labored now. He had moments left. Okay, fair enough. Nobody expects one of our kind to look the way I do. But hey, like I said, you should have put in the legwork. Goodbye, Johnny. And with that, I decided to feast. It always tastes better when they're still alive, even if only just. So quote, this Raven. And a big thank you to Doc for helping me with this. You all know Doc. You have to. Dr. Creepen's the best, right? One Old Man's Last Battle by FreddeGran. All things must come to an end, and so soon the battle and my life will both meet an ending. It's just as well I've been known as the best samurai swordsman in Japan for many years. Using my dual katana fighting style, using 2 swords is almost like cheating. Almost. But I don't mind cheating. Better to stab a man in his back than in his face. He will have less chance to defend himself. I cheated on women. I cheated when I gambled. I cheated in school. I cheated all my life. But such things matter very little when your life is about to end. The battle is already over. The shogun is dead. I am now a ronin, a samurai without a master, and I must live in shame for all of my life. But that will not be very long. The shogun was young and reckless, a fool, and I am twice the fool for lending both my sword hands and both of my sharp katana swords to his foolish quest. Blood and bloody ashes. With my dying breath, I will curse his name, and I will wish only that I could be alive long enough to piss, spit, and shit on his grave. I am an old man now. I lived much longer than I deserved. I had my fun. Killing, whoring, gambling, eating and drinking and smoking opium. War is a young man's blood sport. No place for foolish old Ronin like me. Damn that shuriken. Went awful close to my face. My eyes are not as good as they used to be. It rains, and it's pouring down an illegal amount of water. Rain. I always hated the bloody rain. Only thing worse is the snow. My reflexes are slower than they used to be. This young boy almost takes my head with his sword. Almost. But my old wrinkly hands still count for something. In the very last second, before my ultimate demise, or is it timely? I am old after all. I block his sword swing and return the favor with my own. I take his head clean off his shoulders with one swift, lethal swing from my very sharp katana blade. He's standing there like a headless chicken for a full second before he falls over. The sight makes me laugh, but my laughter betrays me. I'm old, masterless samurai, and a fool one at that. My old ears betray me. Should have heard this ninja trying to sneak up on me long ago. In my younger days I would have, and I would have turned him to mincemeat without hesitation some time ago. But now he is almost upon me. I can hear his bare feet splashing around in the wet mud in this swampland battlefield filled to the brim with corpses. It will surely be a feast for crows and other animals that like the taste of humans rotting corpses. I turn around, almost too late. My old age makes me much slower than I used to be. He goes for the head, and I block his sword at the very last moment. He takes my right ear. Of it was full of hair and not much use anyway. Still, losing it hurts like hell. With my left sword, I make him lose both of his balls. It hurts even more, I would assume. His loud screaming indicates that, indeed, it did hurt. A lot. Good. I always hated ninjas. They have no honor. And that is coming from me, a samurai with no honor. He screams like he's possessed by the devil. I end his suffering by cutting his body into two halves, both of my swords swinging at his torso at the same time. His blood and guts spill out and turn the rainwater and mud red. Red. I've seen a lot of that color in my life, and it is all I will see for the rest of it, this brief period of time. But I must fight on. We lost the battle. I must protect the nearby village for as long as I can. These filthy animals will loot it, burn it, and rape the women. Possibly the children, too. Many farmers will be murdered, babies growing up as orphans or slaves. I must fight if I can, get as many of them. Time. A chance to get away. Don't you know that you lost, old man? A large fat man speaks. He appears to be the leader of a small brigade of bandits. 5 of them in total, including the leader. 5 against 1. I don't like those odds. Not even when I was young. 5 young men against 1 lonely old man. My master, the shogun, has fallen, but I still stand. I stand between you animals and the village nearby. It is full of innocent women and children, and I will not let you dirty animals hurt and rape them. Women? Children? Since when does a samurai care about such things? 2 of the men laugh. One has only 1 eye and a pierced nose. The other has a long ponytail. I always hated piercings and shaved all the hair off my head. Having a long ponytail is a big disadvantage on the battlefield. It gives your opponent something to grab and hold on to. I can still take both of these clowns, even in my old age. None of them are trained warriors. Bandits usually are not. But I will leave for only a short moment before death. Got to make every last second count. Every second is a chance for another villager to get away and escape safely from harm's way. Perhaps he has family living in the village. A daughter, perhaps. Or hell, this old geezer looks old enough to be a grandfather. Frick, the bandit leader is the only sharp tool in the box. He's on to me. I cannot let him find my daughter or her newborn baby. No, we samurai don't keep family. We only love our sword and our shogun. You lie. I can see it in your face. After we burn and loot the village, I will bring your family here to this very place in the swampland and rape and kill them in front of you. Unless you would surrender peacefully and work for me. I know he would never fall for such a simple trick, but it bought time. I can only hope it was enough time for my daughter and her baby. Men, attack the old man. The bandit leader roared out his command, and his bandits obeyed his command, like a pack of trained attack dogs. My left sword goes into the left eye of the one-eyed bandit. It pierces his brain and kills him in an instant. My right sword goes straight into the man with the ponytail's chest. It turns red with his blood as his guts come pouring out. A young boy attacks me. I block his sword with my left blade, then swing it again at his throat to end his young life. I don't even flinch. I killed young boys before, some younger than him. And girls, too. Anyone coming at me the wrong way with a weapon raised in hand is fair game. Such are the hard rules of the battlefield. A big-nosed man comes at me with nunchucks in his hand. He attacks me with them. I struggle to get the right sword out of the body of the ponytailed man that I had just killed with it. So I just leave it inside him. Smart move. The nunchucks go for my right hand, but I drop the sword, and with my left sword I cut the man's ugly big nose right off his stupid face. He's screaming, and I end his screams with a shuriken right between his eyes. A perfect throw, but it was my last one. And the bandit leader and one dark man still stands. I go to retrieve my lost sword from the corpse of the man with the ponytail, but is welcomed by a spear poking out of the man's chest. The dark man put it right through his comrade's back and into my upper arm. It hurts like hell. Perhaps the dark man used to work in a rice field, burning his hard-working skin in the harsh sunlight all day. It matters not. Skin color or previous job occupation is no concern in my blood sport of war. Only life and death matters, and I wish to be alive for only a few more moments so my family can escape and live a long and happy life. If there was ever such a thing as a happy life. At least their lives could potentially be better than mine. I think to myself and cut off both of his arms with a single sword swipe. The blood spurts out of his cut of stumps that were formerly known as arms. I feel the hot rush of blood spurting onto and pouring down my face. A moment of joy. One of the few I have left in my old days. The next moment sure is not one of joy, though. A harsh strike from the bandit leader's club to the back of my skull knocks me to the ground. It almost, but not quite, makes me unconscious. I feel a sharp pain as the bandit leader stands with both of his fat legs firmly placed on my arms, making it impossible for me to get up. I can only hope my last efforts were enough. One old man dies, so a village of young people may live and have a better life than me. When you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So quoth this raven Thank you so kindly for stopping by my chateau, my darlings. It does mean so much to me. Please, if you have not subscribed, as many of you have not, please do so. Give me a like so I know what you would like to hear. And comment. I always love to read your comments. And special thanks to my Patreon and membership supporters. Ciao, darlings.